top of the order for the Braves. They'd like to get a little more comfortable. It will be Gerald Williams, Brett Boone, and Chipper Jones against Jose Lima. And that's too low for ball one. Williams beat out an infield hit his first time, stole second, and then scored a run on the Jordan single to put the Braves ahead in the first. That's a changeup through there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Since then, he has struck out and hit into a force play. 1 for 3. Oh, man, that's that low changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's a big motion.
Now, you know what's amazing me, as well as their pitching, there's only been 1 base on balls in the entire ball game, and that was intentional. It's one of those games where neither pitcher deserves to lose.
Now, Lima gave up that run in the 6th inning, and it might have been that heavy fog early this morning that contributed to it. As Ward slipped and fell and slid right past the ball in shallow left. An apparent chance to throw out Klesko going to third. John Rocker, who's been the Braves' closer this year, the young left-hander, had a big year out of the bullpen. He's their version of Billy Wagner. He's starting to limber up out there. Change-up, popped up. Shallow right center. Everett, 1 away. Huge game for Arizona. That one is driven deep into left center by Brett Boone. That one is off the top of the wall. Ward bobbles the carom, and now Boone will try for third, and he makes it.
Well, there was a mix-up in the outfield. Everett was waiting for the carom. He had it played perfectly. Ward came across and tried to pick it up and knocked it away from both of them.
Here comes ball 4. So that puts runners at first and third. 1 out, and Jordan will come to the plate. Both bullpens have action going. Larry Dierker is going to come out to the mound to talk to Lima.
See, there's 2 things you can do here. You play halfway, whereas if the ball's hit a 1-hop to you, you can go to second base for a double play. Or if the ball's hit in front of you, you charge it, and you go home and get Klesko. It looks like they're playing back for a double play, so the ball will have to be hit to shortstop or second base to make a double play on Jordan.
Jordan swings away and drives one deep into center field. Everett going back to the warning track. He's at the wall, and he makes the catch. Both runners tag up. Scoring Boone to second. Jones, and he makes it. Just ahead of the throw by Everett, and Atlanta gets that extra run. It is now 3-1 Braves. All right, so here's Klesko, and they're going to go after Klesko, apparently. Oh, man, he blew the fastball by him. It is 0-1.
Well, you know, if I understand what Rick is saying, I look, and I'll go back to the first part of this inning. The run that scored should not have scored. It should have been a double for Boone rather than a triple.
And that's too low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And they would have had a place to walk Chipper Jones, set up the double play, which they tried to do, and you know they would have been in better shape. So the misplay in the outfield, the confusion on the carom out there, really cost them a run. Darrell Ward, a first baseman who's been playing the outfield. They already are pretty well covered at first base. Klesko lifts a foul. Rick Sutcliffe downstairs.
A little bit surprised right here, John. Klesko with 2 base hits in his last 2 at-bats. He does not strike out very much this year. That's a change that he and Don Baylor made. Ellerton's a hard thrower. He's got a couple of out pitches, but Andrew Jones, he's a guy that's going to chase that slider a lot more than Klesko normally would. He's on deck. We'll see what happens.
It is interesting. There's the base hit to left field. And that will get Chipper Jones home. It is 4-1.
Well, if you're the Astros, you have to look at some of these balls that they hit. That ball was, I don't know where he hit it. I don't know if he hit it off the end of the bat or off his fist, but it still becomes a base hit. And I guess to answer the question, the reason Dierker didn't walk him, well, he gets that right off the end of the bat. Watch this big swing, but he gets it right off the end of the bat, and the ball actually lands just past shortstop in left field, and here comes Chipper. You have to give Chipper credit for moving up on the long fly ball by Jordan, and he scores. And he's saying, hit the ball. One of the things I think that Dierker was thinking about.
Andrew Jones stands in, takes a strike with a slider.
John, you're already down 3-1, and the more men you put on base, the more risk you take. I think that's what he was thinking when he let Ellerton pitch to Klesko. But I definitely understand Rick's point.
2-down runner at first. The curveball away from Eusebio, and over to second base goes Klesko. You know, the ironic part of all of that is Durker said before the game to me behind the batting cage that he really was the guy who didn't favor the intentional walk.
Well, right. But I know why. Larry and I came to the big leagues together. We used to sit on the bench and talk, and he kind of learned baseball from the same people that I learned baseball from.
1-1 to Andrew Jones. Too low. 2-1.
And that was a philosophy that wasn't, a big deal. You only walked Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, those kind of people. You didn't walk other players. You only walked those types of hitters in Durker's day, and so he didn't like it. Plus, Durker was around Bill Verdon. Bill Verdon didn't like to walk hitters.
That one back to the screen. So Ellerton is having a lot of problems. This is not the same Ellerton we saw earlier this year when he was in the bullpen. I mean, that Scott Ellerton was throwing 94, 95 miles an hour. And we've been seeing him up around 88, 89 with his fastball.
This looks more like a changeup, and it bounces in front of Eusebio and bounces all the way back to the fence.
So 2 wild pitches here. 3-1 to Andrew Jones. Fastball fouled away into the upper deck. This is the first time that Ellerton has pitched in relief since the end of June. Ellerton made 27 relief appearances plus 15 starts in the regular season. Was 9-5 with a 3.48 earned run average. 3-2 the count. Fastball lined into left field, a base hit. Klesko scores, and it is 5-1. They scored 3 times here in the 7th inning.
Well, maybe it wouldn't have mattered. But this has been a disastrous inning, and I really believe it's all of that was caused by Boone's ball being turned into a triple rather than a double. It's allowed other people to be able to move up on base.
Let your heart slow down a little bit here, all right?
Yeah.
One at a time. Get yourself going.
All right.
You're trying to force it in there. Finish your pitches. Just finish.
And a slider low and outside to Eddie Perez.
Well, I don't know if I heard him correctly. He said, let your heart slow down here a little bit and finish your pitches. I understood that part, but I think he said, let your heart slow down, meaning I guess you're excited and just relax and just finish your pitches.
And fastball, again, 89 miles an hour with that fastball. And again, earlier this year when he was in the bullpen, he was up in the mid-90s. Fans chanting Eddie. And they used to chant Eddie for Eddie Murray in Baltimore.
Well, they've been quiet for a day and a half.
That slider bounced to short. Gutierrez boots it. Recovers in time. Remember, Perez has 2 bad knees and is just not able to run at all. It is now 5-1 Atlanta. We move to the 8th.